think it was a lot of research and a lot of, um, yeah, I'll say I spent so much time researching materials, trims, calling a lot of people and asking favors for help with product development because I don't come from a product background myself. And so I want, especially with underwear and bras, anything that sits close to the body requires such technical expertise. So I wanted to find someone who could help me bring this vision to life in that technical respect. So finding that person, finding a factory that would take a chance on a small business who was just starting, required a lot of visits. So I think all in all, it took over a year, probably a year and a half plus, from putting pen to paper, developing our first samples, and trying them on, making tweaks, and then eventually coming up with what we'd like to do. And we have pivoted a couple times. We did actually start with organic silk loungewear. And then pivoted to what we are now in 2020 as I wanted something that, yeah, everyone could enjoy, a very like beautiful cotton product that was missing in the underwear drawer, and talking to hundreds of women about their underwear and what they felt was missing. And I felt also that the like what I call weekend underwear, like your fancy Friday underwear, was taken care of, but no one was looking at the Monday through Friday. What do you want to wear that's comfortable, that you actually want to reach for in the morning, that you're excited that that pair is clean and from the laundry. So yeah, a lot of, I'd say, research in the beginning, talking to other women, and just knocking on doors to try and find those first few partners that believed in my vision and believed in me to take a chance on working with someone small.
What did you call it? Your fancy Friday?
I mean, it's not a strict term that I have, but yeah, your fancy weekend underwear where you might want to wear something extra special, or I don't know, you need something that will maybe fit under a specific type of dress or something like that.
It's totally true. I mean, it's funny because my underwear, I have the most gigantic underwear drawer. And, when, let's say my boyfriend at the time would say, he goes, "Why do you have so much underwear?" I'm like, "Well, you need it for different outfits and different, events and things like that." But the truth is, it's like, yes, we have our fancy Friday underwear, but girl, we all come home and we put on the comfy
Yeah.
panty, the soft, cotton panty. And it's funny because there's actually a commercial that one of the food delivery services doing, like where it's this girl comes back from a date and she strips off all that stuff and she just puts on her comfy clothes, her comfy underwear, her comfy sweats. And I'm like, look, this is where we spend 90% of our
Yes.
day. That other underwear, kind of out there. Now, speaking of it, it is so super soft. I've like been holding it up to my face. So you actually use something called Supima cotton. What made you choose that over something like bamboo? Because bamboo had this huge moment. Everything, in the world was bamboo, bamboo, and it is very silky and soft. But God, I'm still a cotton girl. So tell me about this specific fabric and why you chose it.
So we chose Supima cotton because it's one of my favorite cottons out there. It's long staple, which means that it does have a silky smooth, natural feel to it, and it has beautiful bounce and recovery because we don't use any elastane or stretch. That was really important to allow the garments to be able to like fit on a body but still retain their shape. And it just feels amazing. It's definitely a premium type of cotton. But we've chosen it because we do understand that people care about what is on their body and want it to feel great. We didn't actually consider bamboo because while the plant itself is sustainably harvested because it does require such minimal water, the actual processing of bamboo into a fiber and then into a finished textile is quite chemically intensive. And so we wanted to stay away from that process. And cotton, while it is a thirsty crop, I always see sustainability as trade-offs. Nothing is 100% perfect. I do love cotton because it can be regeneratively grown. And ours, the way that we've created the entire product, does return back to the soil. My vision is perhaps one day to have our own cotton farm where it is fully circular, where our cotton underwear will eventually go back into the cotton farm. So that in and of itself, I think feeling a lot of different materials. I think you just need to touch and feel and experiment to understand what's going to work best for your product type. But at the end of the day, I think the health benefits of cotton and the luxuriousness of this specific Supima cotton just made me fall in love with it and want to use it.
I totally agree on that. In fact, when you were saying about having your own farm and everything returns to the earth, I just had this my inside vision of these rainbows and unicorns life that I truly believe that we can somehow return to the earth, getting away from all of this industrial production and pollution that we see. It can happen. And with, founders like you that are really looking at this and trying to figure things out, there is that future. We just have to work together on it.